Hello and welcome to my yugioh channel. So today we're covering some more SPRIGGUN supports. Those are the monsters that like to attach more Xyz materials to themselves to gain a lot more power. The first card is Supreme Arch Serpent Gonda. It's a fire attribute reptile effect monster. It's level 8 with question mark attack and 0 defense. You can only use this card's name's first and third effects once per turn each. One, if this card is in your hand or graveyard, and there is a face-up card in your field zone, you can special summon this card but banish it if it leaves the field. 2. If Vast Desert Gold Golgonda is on the field, this card's original attack becomes 3000. And 3. If Vast Desert Gold Golgonda on the field would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish one monster from your graveyard instead. So this card is actually quite decent. It's able to special summon itself very easily just by having a field, basically having a field spell card. So, it can trigger from the hand or the graveyard, so you can either just dump it there with something like Foolish Burial, or one of the elements attribute knights. I think the fire one, Brushfire Knights, can, send it to the graveyard. Or you can just bring it from your hand, but it does come at the cost of it gets banished when it leaves the field. I think this is fair considering that otherwise you've got a 3000 attack monster that can keep coming back. Of course, saying that, you've got things such as Burial from a Different Dimension and other revival cards which can help to bring it back. So it's not going to be a case of once it's banished, it's gone completely for the rest of the duel. I would say the good thing about the second part of the effect is the original attack becomes 3000 and it's not treated as an additional attack. The reason I say that is because there are certain cards which make your monsters become their original attack. By keeping it this way, your opponent isn't really able to interfere with its attack points as much as they would like to. And the third part of the effect is actually necessary to keep this card viable at all, because just by banishing monsters, you're able to keep your field spell card just where it needs to be, and that is just how you want to run the card. The next card is Spriggun's Brothers. It's a fire attribute machine type effect monster, level 4, with 300 attack and 1800 defense. You can only use this card's name's first and second effects once per turn each. 1. If this card is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, you can target one Spriggun's monster in your graveyard except Spriggun's Brothers, special summon it in defense position. 2. If this card is in your hand, field or graveyard, you can target one Spriggun's Xyz monster you control, attach this card to it as Xyz material. So basically this card helps to bring out your rank 4 Xyz monsters by reviving something else, and then of course you're able to then normal summon into something as well. Alternatively, the second part of its effect is what most of the Sprigguns do anyway, to help boost your existing Xyz monster, which is the boss monster. The next card is Spriggun's Merrymaker. It's a fire attribute machine type Xyz monster, rank 4 with 1100 attack and 2000 defense. It requires 2 level 4 monsters, and you can only use this card's name's first and second effects once per turn each. 1. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can send one Spriggun's monster from your deck to the graveyard. And 2. During your opponent's main phase or either player's battle phase, as a quick effect, you can banish this card until the end phase. Then if this card had 2 or more materials, you can send one fusion monster that uses Fallen of Albaz as a material from your extra deck to the graveyard. This is basically helping to bring out Fallen of Albaz, so that's decent. And since the decks synergize with each other, that's the reason that card exists. And the final card is Spriggun's Booty. It's a continuous spell card with the effect you can only use this card's name's first and second effects once per turn each. 1. If a face-up Xyz monster you control leaves the field by a card effect, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls. That monster cannot activate its effects that activate on the field for the rest of this turn. 2. You can send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard to activate one Vast Desert Gold Golgonda from your deck or graveyard. So the first part is actually really decent. It punishes your opponent whenever they try and get over your Xyz monsters, and of course, since you've got this Merrymaker now, you've got two Xyz monsters rather than just the original boss monster. It makes it much easier for you to punish your opponent for doing anything. And essentially by doing that, you prevent them from maybe comboing off for the rest of the turn. The other effect, to just get rid of this card to bring out your Vast Desert Field spell, is also quite decent, considering that's maybe what you want to be playing or using at the time. Often it's better to just bring out the field spell as well, because it provides your Spriggan Xyz monsters with 1,000 more attack. It also means that if you don't have one of them on the field, you can actually bring it out a lot easier through this effect. And if your opponent is stupid enough to actually get rid of one of the cards, the Spriggan Xyz monster, they're punished because that monster cannot attack for the rest of the turn. That actually makes this card better than the Spriggan's Booty.